Welcome to the Prepare to Shift for Leaders podcast with Dr. Paula Maddox, where each month we explore cutting-edge leadership strategies and best practices that you can apply immediately. Dr. Paula draws from extensive experience working a career with the U.S. federal government and coaching C-suite leaders, executives, and managers from Fortune 50, 100, and 500 companies across the globe. As an author and seasoned executive leadership coach with a doctorate in strategic leadership, Dr. Paula has coached leaders in the U.S. and over 57 countries. By the end of each podcast episode, you'll walk away with proven strategies to lead more effectively, enhance your executive presence, and amplify your leadership impact and influence. Becoming a strategic and impactful leader is challenging, but it's absolutely achievable. Dr. Paula is here to guide and support you on your leadership journey. Here's Dr. Paula.
Hi, and welcome to the Prepare to Shift for Leaders podcast series. I am your host, Dr. Paula Maddox, as an author and global executive leadership coach with nearly 20 years of experience across a wide range of industries in the U.S. and now 58 other countries. I've had the privilege of engaging with diverse leaders at all levels. So in this podcast series, we will explore leadership topics drawn from real-world observations, insightful conversations, and deep coaching discussions. From the C-suite to thriving entrepreneurs and new hires, this show offers valuable insights and practical advice, no matter where you are in your leadership journey. I'm thrilled that you are tuning in today, so don't forget to like, follow, subscribe, and share this podcast with friends and colleagues. In this series, we will dive into a wide range of leadership topics that resonate with managers and leaders worldwide. So, in today's podcast show, we will talk about how intelligent leaders evolve and expand their impact by upskilling, reskilling, or outskilling. So, we know today's global workforce is particularly challenging right now, and the pace of change is relentless. And it's being driven by technological advancement, shifting market demands, and evolving business strategies. So, upskilling, reskilling, and outskilling are not just buzzwords. They are essential strategies for staying relevant and sustainable. So let's talk about why this is the case. As we all are witnessing in real time, job markets are evolving and changing at a pace that's so rapid, and there are rapidly changing the workforce needs. So essentially, there are two forces at play here. Industries and companies are constantly adapting to stay globally competitive and sustainable. Similarly, the needs and expectations of workers are evolving as well, often reaching far beyond their immediate communities. So, unlike in the past, careers are no longer confined to local opportunities. Many workers now find themselves relocating, sometimes leaving behind family and support systems to pursue new roles. In this shifting landscape, a new paradigm has emerged. Workers must take ownership of their careers and create intentional plans to remain sustainable and adaptable. Relying solely on employers to prioritize your best interests is no longer viable. It's not a viable strategy. Instead, workers must empower themselves by actively seeking out resources, sharpening their skills, and setting clear goals for personal and professional growth. The reality is this: no one should be invested in your life and career more than you. While employers may provide tools and training and education and support, the responsibility to design the career and the life that you desire ultimately rests with you. So, for those aspiring to leadership roles, this mindset is even more critical. Effective leaders don't wait for opportunities, they create them. They build their leadership brand, cultivate strategic relationships, and align their development with the organization's future needs or the needs of the industry where they choose to excel. With this being the case, we are left asking ourselves questions. First question is, what skills and experiences do I need to move forward? I recommend we start by clarifying your career goals. If career advancement is the goal, take the time to define what advancement means to you. And it may not be just a job title. Maybe it's advancing with your current skill sets or obtaining new ones. Just be specific in the direction you want to take. Then, research your desired role by looking at job descriptions for positions you aspire to. Begin to pay close attention to the required skills, the certifications, and experiences. Then conduct a skill gap analysis by comparing your current skills and knowledge to those needed for your targeted role. Identify the gaps to determine if you are missing any experience, technical skills, or strategic thinking abilities. Then seek feedback, which should be a consistent practice for all of us. Ask your manager, your mentors, or trusted colleagues to share the strengths they see in you and where they believe you can grow. Managers and leaders should give this type of feedback as a standard practice, but many do not, and many do not know how. So, directly ask what is needed to advance within your organization. Another action step that is available to workers is networking and scheduling informational interviews. Take the time to connect with people who are already in roles you aspire to attain. Ask them about their career path and journey. Also, ask them about the key skills they've developed and any advice that they can share. But always remember to invest in continuous learning. There are many people like me who retired nearly a decade ago or more who are still learning and educating themselves on current and future trends. So learning is a continuous, lifelong process. And if you haven't heard, please let me be the first to tell you, life does not end at retirement, people. It's imperative to keep the mind in optimum working order as long as possible so we can continue to improve the world and bring value to others. Many well-known brands and successful businesses were launched by entrepreneurs who were in retirement age or already retired, such as Colonel Sanders, who opened Kentucky Fried Chicken. We also saw Ray Kroc, who started McDonald's at the age of 52. Amedio Gianni launched the Bank of America when he was 61 years old. So always be continuously committed to develop your leadership and soft skills. Career advancement requires more than just technical expertise. It's essential to work on additional skills such as communication, emotional intelligence, strategic thinking, and executive presence. So take the opportunity to acquire new skills, attend conferences and networking events, and meet with mentors. The next question is, who can I learn from and how can I expand my network? This is a critical factor I've observed in coaching professionals across industries at all levels throughout the world. Many of these individuals are undeniably experts in their roles and fields. They're masters at their craft. However, despite their expertise, their careers often hit a holding pattern because they were so hyper-focused on their work that they overlooked a key element of career growth, and that was building relationships. But here's the reality: they were experts and masters at their craft, but no one truly knew them. No one knew them. They became a mystery to their colleagues and organizational leaders. What they didn't realize was that those informal interactions serve a greater purpose. They give others a chance to understand you, and not just your work output, but they want to know more about your leadership style, your business values, and the unique impact you bring to the organization. These moments of building relationships help to build trust, visibility, and influence. All of these are essential for leadership growth. So think of it this way: when you need a repair for your car or your home, you typically don't pick a contractor or repair shop based solely on a flashy logo. You typically ask people you know and trust for recommendations because you want the reassurance that the job will be done right. Well, think about it for a minute. Organizations do the same thing when they start thinking about considering people for career advancement or promotional opportunities. Who within their network know you? Organizations approach promotions and career advancements the same way. They want to invest in people they know, people they trust and believe in, especially those who have demonstrated their value both through their work and through their presence and relationships. So here's the hard truth: your work product alone will never tell the full story of who you are as a leader. It's just a representation of what you could possibly complete and do and offer as a value to them. It's not enough to let your work speak for itself. People need to hear you directly. They need to hear directly from you. They need to hear your vision, your leadership approach, and how you plan to drive the organization forward. Success is not just about what you do, it's about who knows you. What do they know about you and how they view your leadership potential? So take the time to make it a priority to build meaningful connections and allow others to see the leader behind the work. That's how you move from being an expert in your role to a visible, trusted leader in your organization. If this is you, I strongly urge you to find a mentor or find a coach like me who can build support, who can offer support to you in navigating through this dilemma with clarity and confidence. The next question to ask is, how am I actively shaping the narrative of my leadership journey? Well, by stepping into the driver's seat of your career, you can position yourself not only for growth, but for lasting impact, both within your organization and beyond. This shift in the workforce introduces added complexities right now, requiring individuals to balance multiple priorities beyond their jobs. This includes supporting their children's academic needs, securing community resources to sustain their lifestyle, and ensuring access to fresh food and specialized health care and mental health services. Additionally, as people live longer, the demand for comprehensive health care and emotional support continues to grow. Resources that may not always be readily available near the workplace. As a result, leaders and the families they support must continually reset priorities and navigate these multifaceted challenges and make thoughtful and strategic decisions. The ability to adapt both personally and professionally is no longer optional. It's essential for long-term success. In essence, intelligent leaders evolve and adapt to changing workforce trends by staying proactive, agile, and strategic. and they do so for good reason. An article recently published by the World Economic Forum emphasizes the urgent need for a global reskilling revolution to prepare the workforce for the fourth industrial revolution. It argues that over 1 billion jobs, or 1/3 of all jobs worldwide, are likely to be transformed by technology in the next decade, necessitating the reskilling of a significant portion of the global population by the year 2030. Failing to address these skill gaps could lead to substantial economic losses and exacerbate global inequalities. So, in addition, the World Economic Forum estimates approximately 133 million new jobs in major economies will be created to meet the demands of the fourth industrial revolution. That is huge. So let's unpack the meaning and purposes of reskilling, upskilling, and outskilling leaders. What is the meaning of these terms? Upskilling, reskilling, and outskilling. They are components of an organization's approach to talent development and skill building, but each differs in their focus. So, according to Keith O'Brien with IBM Consulting, upskilling involves improving a leader's existing skill sets through training and development programs. The goal of upskilling is to minimize skill gaps and to prepare leaders for changes in their current job roles or functions. An example of upskilling is a customer care representative learning how to use generative AI and chatbots to answer customer questions in real time with customers. And we see that a lot on many websites today. Upskilling can also mean that leaders gain new skills to help in their current job responsibilities. For example, an accountant who once used an abacus can now utilize digital spreadsheets. On the other hand, reskilling refers to learning an entirely new set of skills to perform a new job. For example, someone in data processing might reskill to learn web development or advanced data analytics. Reskilling means leaders need the knowledge and the skills to take on different or entirely new roles. Here's another example. Switchboard operators back in the day needed to reskill after cell phones became our primary communication device. In essence, upskilling enhances current skills for better performance in an existing role, while reskilling provides new skills for a completely different job. Then there is outskilling. Now, this term was coined as a last-ditch recruitment option for workers who could not secure a new position at their current company. But things have changed. Outskilling was initially an option offered by the company to workers as a severance payment so that they could pursue work outside of the current organization. But now that things have shifted, outskilling is an option to workers to self-initiate if they desire to find a new career path on their own. Outskilling is a tool that is particularly valuable during economic instabilities such as what we are experiencing today, because it can offer a bridge to new career opportunities and help workers find fulfilling career pathways. As we've seen, it's best to consider outskilling as an option before it's actually needed. Given the rise in job losses and ongoing economic instability in the United States, many leaders may find that reskilling, rather than simply upskilling and outskilling, will be crucial in the coming years. While upskilling focuses on enhancing existing skills, reskilling involves learning entirely new capabilities to transition into different roles or industries. And like some of you, I was wondering, what are other workers doing globally to remain sustainable in their careers? After researching this, I found data published by the World Economic Forum stating that by the year 2025, which is now, approximately 50% of all employees will need to be reskilled due to the adoption of new technologies. The top 6 skills needed this year and beyond are analytical thinking and innovation. Those skills are needed. Number 2, active learning and learning strategies. Number 3, complex problem-solving skills. Number 4, critical thinking and analysis. Number 5, creativity, originality, and initiative. So, leadership and social influence is also a skill that's needed. And as we look throughout the globe, what I also discovered that in New Zealand, research reveals approximately 60% of their workforce will need reskilling by the year 2027. Based on a small sampling size research recently performed, Economic Impact also published data reflecting approximately 86 million workers in the Asian Pacific, or APAC, is needed to be upskilled or reskilled with advanced digital skills to match the pace of technological change. So as I look at this global data, I'm finding that in each global sector, soft skills are often one of the most important considerations for promotion because they promote adaptability, self-management, and learning agility when developing and coaching others. Companies need candidates applying for promotion to consistently demonstrate how they can strengthen the bench of workers that report to them and strengthen cross-functional teams and departments. So, based on a recent article also published by SHRM, India is also in crisis. The country is experiencing economic growth, which is great, but they are undergoing a concerning level of skill mismatch. India excels in high graduation rates, but only a certain fraction of the graduates and talent are employable. Therefore, there is a significant gap between academic training and industry readiness in India. All of this data reveals the state of global workforces worldwide and the work we have ahead of us, and it's massive. We as leaders must be far more intentional in how we utilize our time, our talent, and our resources. We must become far more strategic and focused on sustaining ourselves and less time being entertained or being someone else's entertainment. I'm saying this because the use or amount of time spent on social media platforms globally has not decreased. As a matter of fact, it is increasing, which does not necessarily equate to engaging in activities to stimulate our minds or promote our well-being. Again, according to Digital Reportal, people ages 16 to 65 and older spend hours looking for fun and entertaining content or keeping up with friends and family. I encourage everyone to use their time wisely and in ways to sustain themselves economically and financially. And as always, I will leave web links to these reports and resources in my show notes. Again, in another article recently published by Loretta Lee Sevilla in Forbes magazine, her article suggests that leaders should also practice sense making. So, what is sense making? Well, sense making is the ability to understand the dynamics of your environment. In an increasingly complex world, leaders need to interpret dynamics and understand the rapid changes in the environment, whether it's market, customer, or internal organizational dynamics. Sense making is particularly valuable where there is limited information or different views of a situation. So let's circle back to reskilling and ask ourselves, how will I know if reskilling is the right move for me? Well, here are some key indicators to consider. First of all, if you see that your role or industry is shrinking due to automation, technology, or technological advancements, or shifting market demands, you may want to consider reskilling. If the job opportunities in your current field are limited, with fewer job openings or experiencing stagnant growth, reskilling may be a good thing to do right now. What if your skills are no longer aligned with the organization's strategic direction or future needs? Reskilling may need to be on deck. And if you feel disconnected from your work and realize your interests and strengths are better suited to a different field, consider reskilling. What about the feedback from your mentors or leaders that may suggest a gap between your skills and what's needed for career advancement? Reskilling may be a consideration for you right now. But if any of these resonate with you, here are some practical steps to start reskilling to future proof yourself. But please remember this future proofing isn't just about work, it's about sustainability. Intelligent leaders prioritize their mental, emotional, and physical health to maintain the stamina needed for long term success. So, here are some practical steps to reskill to future proof yourself. First of all, assess your transferable skills. That means identifying the skills you already have, such as leadership, communication, or project management skills that are valuable across industries. This gives you a strong foundation for learning new technical or specialized skills. Begin to research emerging fields and roles. Look into industries where there's a growing demand, like technology, healthcare, renewable energy, or data science. Consider how your experience can pivot into these areas. Another thing you can do is invest in continuous learning. We should never stop. And take the time to enroll in an online course or gain an additional certification through a plethora of certification programs that are available, or workshops tailored to the skills you need. Many platforms offer flexible learning options to fit your schedule. You will be surprised by the number of free online courses available to increase your growth mindset. And if you feel online learning is not the best option for you, feel free to explore local and community schools and colleges or educational centers in your area. Another thing we have to continuously do is leverage our networks. We should be building strong, diverse networks by lifting our heads up out of our work tasks and taking the time to connect with mentors and colleagues or other industry professionals who can offer insights about new fields and potential opportunities. Join professional associations or attend industry events. And when possible, always take an opportunity to go. And if you listened to my earlier podcast, I shared additional information about selecting mentors and how to select them and what to look for. Leadership business experts recommend that we select at least 3 expert mentors. So go check out those podcasts. One who specializes in operations should be one particular mentor. We should also have a mentor who specializes in networking and relationship building. And the third mentor should also have a specialization in strategy. Another thing we should always take the time to do is to gain hands-on experience. Seek out stretch assignments. Volunteer to work on side projects that allow you to practice new skills in real time. This not only builds your confidence, but also strengthens your resume. Being an expert in one thing is not enough anymore. Craft a reskilling plan. Set clear time-bound goals for your learning journey. I suggest you break them into smaller milestones, such as completing a course, earning a certification, or applying for an internship in a new industry. Reskilling isn't just about survival. It's about future-proofing your career and embracing new possibilities. With the right mindset and strategy, you can position yourself for long-term success, no matter how the economic landscape shifts. And as always, it's wise to create a personal brand and value proposition. They clearly define what you stand for, the unique value you bring, and how your skills align with the future trends. This brand makes you visible, memorable, and marketable. So, in summary, upskilling, reskilling, and outskilling aren't just survival tactics. They're strategies for thriving in an ever-evolving professional landscape. That's a wrap, fellow leaders. Thank you again for sharing your time with me today. If this leadership podcast has been helpful to you, please support others in their leadership development as well by smashing the like, follow, subscribe, or share buttons, and feel free to leave a gracious comment. I look forward to joining you again next month as I unpack another leadership topic that impacts our work culture today. So until then, invest in yourself by not giving up or giving in, but by continuing to live well.
Thank you for tuning in to another episode of the Prepare to Shift for Leaders podcast with Dr. Paula Maddox. Be sure to join us again on the first Monday of every month for more powerful leadership strategies. If you enjoyed today's episode, please don't forget to follow on Apple or Spotify and leave us a glowing review. For more information about Dr. Paula and to download her free PDF titled Leadership Communications, the Top 5 Tips, please visit her website at www.preparetoshift.com. That is prepare, the number 2, shift.com.